Good morning and welcome. The class today is Realtor Property Resource, RPR. Joining me via chat is Maggie Curiel, one of our wonderful trainers. She will provide you information. While during the chat, please make sure to open it up to all so that Maggie may be able to assist you, since I will be covering the product and not able to look at the chat at all times. Maggie is now sending you information. Today, we were supposed to have with us our sponsor, Housemaster. I will go ahead and copy the information from the website to share with you. It's an inspection company in South Florida and an affiliate member, a member like you of Miami. Looking forward to working with you. Again, please remember, if you have questions, to clearly write them openly to everyone. Maggie will be assisting. If you're interested in information on Housemaster and home inspections, I've shared their website in the chat. My name is Connie Nieto, and I'm one of 4 full-time instructors here at the Miami Association of Realtors. This course is RPR, Realtor Property Resource. When you come in to the website, you are able to log in by clicking on the Miami Gateway and coming into the gateway, and then from the gateway, finding RPR, which is a red icon as it appears here on screen. Remember that this class is being recorded and will be available to you at miamirealtorslive.com, which is up here in this portion of the page. You can search for webinars, courses, and more on Miami Realtors Live. This will also be available on your trainer's YouTube channel, youtube.com/miamitrainers. Once you log in and you click into RPR, it will bring you to RPR's homepage. RPR is Realtor Property Resource with information from around the nation. If it is your first time logging in, it may look a little different here, so I'm going to take a minute and show you some of the steps. If I click here on the gear, I'm going to log out. So I wanted to show you that. Sign out here. I want to show you that if you need your NERDS number to start, you can do so by putting information here. It says here login failed because I've logged out. If it's your first time, you would click over here to create an account. It's going to ask you the last name of your NRDS, the last name on your license. So if you have 2 last names that appear on your license, start by testing those 2. You can choose to put your email or your NRDS ID. If you're not sure which email you used and you'd like to know your NRDS number, you can either look it up here. But then for Miami Realtors, there is a convenient way to get your information. You can come to the Miami Gateway, and here on this second icon, My Miami Dashboard, right? That will open up your portal. And here under your portal, you will see your level of membership, Realtor or Realtor Associate, the company that you're working with or brokerage, and your NRDS ID, which you can come and copy and paste into RPR. Again, a couple of ways to do this. Create your account, put in your last name, the email associated to your account, which is the same one associated to your Miami Realtors account, or your NRDS number, and next, and follow along the instructions given there. I'm going to go ahead and log in to show you the settings. Once you do this one time with your gateway available, it will now be connected. And then from then on, you will have the ability from here to simply come and click and do a single sign-in. So this is a one-time, and then once you do it, you're all set. I see the chat flashing and information going, so we thank Maggie for being available with us today while I go ahead and get logged in here. Thank you for being patient while this is thinking through. While this is thinking through, let me go ahead and show you that there is an RPR page found in Miami Realtors website. When you need information, don't forget that everything starts with Miami Realtors. miamirealtors.com/RPR has a page with information, tutorials, and webinars. Some of you were asking if this was being recorded. We have pre-recorded RPR courses and webinars available to you here, as well as a description of what it does. RPR is a comprehensive property data area. It's a tax analysis area, has powerful analytics, dynamic reports, is available only to realtors, and it has on-the-go access. Don't forget to join us for Mobile Realtor with Miami that covers RPR mobilely. Also, consider joining us for Working with Investors that covers other areas and aspects of RPR. Let me try one more time and let me refresh. To get us going. Now that we're signed in, there's a couple of things that you need to know. There is a purple area here that's going to ask you if you're interested on taking a tour of RPR, make a pre-listing presentation, create a CMA, making it easier for you to get going with RPR. So if you're wondering, this will always pop up. This is a new feature that came about a month ago. Take advantage of it. If you're ever in and you have concerns or wondering how to do something, you can take a tour. I'm going to X out for now. Now, branding is key. So to do your branding, you would click up to here in the gear, and you do this to make sure that your reports and your information appear in everything that you do RPR. So here you notice that you will have the ability to come, and where mine says change photo, yours may say add. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. You can add your photo, right? Your company logo, and more. Note that you can come in and make sure your contact information is correct, including name and last name, your title, office name, address, and then you can come and add your mobile. And if you have additional phone numbers, just click add more. Take a minute as well here and make sure that your email is correct. And if there's other emails that you use, click add more. Something I always like to promote is you may have a website. Put in your website, but what happens with your social media sites? Are you active on social media? Do you have a second website? Would you like to feature your website, your office's website, or more? This allows you to add several sites, and this will all come out on your reports, allowing them to click through and find you wherever it is you are. Notice that I have a Proxio Showcase and my Matrix site here, as well as Facebook and Instagram, allowing them to connect wherever it is that they choose, but always providing all the information so that they can contact me. Take a minute and put in the links. If you don't know how, it's simple. I'm going to click the plus here and I'm going to show you Facebook as an example. Once you log into Facebook and get into your business page directly, the URL is on the very top. So what you want to do to make sure that you're creating a true link is come to the top and copy the URL, and then come back to your RPR settings. And you would come in, I'm going to remove it to show you, and you would paste it in. This will create a true link that includes that https / and of course, your page. Do this if you have as well Twitter or others and add them in, add your sites in, so this part of your branding is done. If you've logged in and already identified yourself, it will have your login information and what association you belong to. If you have your license number in other states, you could do that as well. And if you have assistance, make sure to come in and subscribe to receive information by clicking yes. And then once you've made your changes, like always, simply come and click on save. Now that you've saved your data, we're almost ready to go. Okay, let's continue now. Now that it's updated, it says, thanks for updating your profile. We'll go ahead and close and come back to our home page. I do like to take a minute to let you know that it does keep your recent reports. So if anything that you've done recently can be found here, and you can simply click through to get it. Again, like I mentioned, RPR is available for your mobile device. It's one of those things that lets you work on the go and then come back to your computer and you have everything that you've done on your phone, on your desktop or laptop. Download it and log in. Remember that we do offer that Mobile Realtor with Miami class where we cover RPR and all its functionalities on the phone. Some of us even prefer it on the phone. Coming back to the top, I want to show you all of these options that you have here. If we click over to market activity, sometimes you have someone looking for an area or wanting to have a report, wondering if they should invest or buy, or trying to get pricing or what's going on in a zone. So you can come here and use a city, a zip, a county, or a township or more, and you can choose to see the changes that have occurred in the last 6 months, 3 months, last month, last week, last 3 days. I'm going to come up here and choose an area, a zip code. 33134 is Coral Gables, and I click through it and I click to search, and it will give me market activity, right, in the last 6 months in this zip code. I have the heat map here that I can enlarge. There have been 889 different property types. Notice that I'm looking at new listings, pending, price change, and more. I can actually come and and I can print this page if I choose, and click bigger map. Some of us like to look at the map and then see the information. Notice here that in this heat map, I can choose to see, let's see, housing density, all right, average sale price, average listing price, estimated value per square foot, and here it explains the color coding, right? Estimated home value by using the heat maps, and I can choose to come and print. Options and many different things that you could do with RPR. I'm going to come back to home and show you something else you can do. Sometimes you're wondering about schools. School information in RPR is offered to you by niche. We will see later on when we create a CMA the description of where information comes from. But I'm going to click here in schools, and let's look at 33133. A little bit of Coconut Grove, a little bit of Miami, a little bit of Coral Gables in this zip code. If I put 33133 and I search, I can find the schools in this area. I see the map, right? I see the area, and I can even look here to nearby properties or get a report. If I click nearby properties, it'll tell me the properties that are found close to this school. I'm going to go ahead and click the back button 1 second. And you can also come in here and click get a report on the school and actually get a school report. All you need to do is simply come and personalize it if you'd like and get information. So if someone asks you, you can actually deliver a school report to them with your branding. Let's go ahead and run this, and it may take a couple of minutes, so we'll continue through. And at the end, we can review some of the things that we can do with RPR. Let me go ahead and put in here, sample school, run report. Continuing up, we're gonna come here now to home. And I'd also like to show you about neighborhoods and neighborhood reports. And this news my item for a week here, neighborhood reports. So sometimes you're looking to get information on an area. What's the makeup of the area, data, does it rain, does it not rain, etc. You can actually use these neighborhood reports to get information on housing, people, economy, and the quality of life. Here I'm going to go ahead and show you an area, another zip code, and I'm going to click to search. Once I do this, this allows you to see the median estimated home value in the area, the change that has occurred over the last month and over the last 12 months. You get the heat map, right, with information, median sales price versus volume, median listing price versus listing price, population of children by age. So notice here, there are plenty of children between toddler and high school age. So when I do marketing here, I should potentially consider what parents would do with these children. There are plenty of middle schoolers. This comes a little bit from census information, etc. And if you were wondering, you could click about this data and it'll tell you the distribution in the range, and notice that it's census info. What does tell you is that if you're getting called or you're getting knocked on your doors to give census info, maybe you should provide it, because then we use it as realtors to do our marketing. The population of adults, it tells you a bit about that. Also, again, from the census. Frequently, annually updated, the info. So we have a large group of people ranging from 35 to 65, notice here. All of this you can get. It tells you the nearby schools, right? Middle school, K through 8 center, and you can check out more. And then you can also come to the top and click on housing. And here you have estimated facts, so estimated home value change for the zip code versus the area versus the county, list price in the last 12 months, percent to own ratios. Note that in this area, 68% of people own their home and 32% rent, versus Miami versus the county versus Florida and the US. The value of all buildings, not much information, but we scroll down and you get some other info, including price range of homes sold, price per square foot, size of homes, right? Age of homes, and the number of bedrooms. So 3 seems to take it. This area has a lot of homes that have 3 bedrooms, almost evenly with the 2 and the 4. So what this tells you is that the common home in this area has 3 bedrooms. People, the makeup of the area. And here you see education level, population density, right? Their degrees and what they've earned, population by children, which we've seen before, adult, households with children, married with children, married without children, single with children. All have things in common, right? Again, the importance of marketing and considering them when you're doing the marketing in this area. Household income brackets and their occupation categories. There's even voting pattern information. All of this you can use to analyze and consider when doing your marketing. You can also provide a report with this information. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm clicking over to economy so you can see information on that as well, and we'll review quality of life. Here under economy, you have income per capita not currently available. The median household income in this area is $69,000. No unemployment rate numbers right at this moment. Of course, there's been a spike since COVID, right? And then let's click over to quality of life. Under quality of life, notice the zip code, the elevation, the annual rainfall, right? Days of summer, of full sun, average commute times, and how people get to work. Driving is mostly what's done. Carpool, motorcycle, or drove alone. Work at home, public transit, walk, and bicycle. I wonder how this will change in the coming years. Average monthly temperature and the walkability factor. Please note that this is suburbia. An area such as Brickell or downtown Fort Lauderdale or Zolas area might have a larger or better walkability factor because you can come down and do your shopping. But this is a suburban area, right? Full of little strip malls and then communities. And then to get what you need to go to the mall. So walkability factor, of course. Okay. And you can actually come here and create a report. There is a neighborhood report. Let me go ahead and put here. Right. And while I'm getting this done, I want to show you that we ran a report, right, on schools over here, Coconut Grove, and I can come and click on it while we're waiting for the other one. And what I wanted you to see is that it has Coconut Grove Elementary, the area of coverage, all of our branding information. And this is why I told you to take a minute, because these are clickable. It can come and get your information, click and go to your pages. So always providing them another way to get a hold of you, whether it's email, your phone number, seeing you and your logo, right? It provides the date and then information on the school and schools nearby, okay? Properties for sale in the area. So you have all of this that you could potentially provide to someone who's looking in that area. Now we'll come back and we'll see how long it's taking. It's finalizing the neighborhood report. School report, because sometimes parents are interested in what that area is like and if there's anything available. Please note that it says nearby. It is their responsibility to check if living at that address, they would go to that school. Now the neighborhood report, I didn't click to more details, but you can choose what you provide, which is housing, stats, people, etc. Right? We'll give it a second to finalize. That you should become familiar with if you're an RPR user. That's how it notifies you that the report is done. I click download report, and here again, I have a report on 33186, which is a West Kendall area, photo for branding, name, title, logo of the brokerage, contact details, and then a neighborhood report providing the information that I've selected, including quality of life, housing, people, and economy in this area, allowing you to provide reports regarding anything and all that they're looking for. Let me come back to home now. And now let's do a search for all properties. I'm going to come here first and do a search for all properties. And I want to talk to you a little bit about mailing labels. So I'm going to come in and do 33133. Okay. And I'm actually going to click on advanced. And here, I only want distressed properties and I don't want them for sale, for pending, or for lease. Right? 33133, distressed properties. And I'm going to click to search. Did you mean? And it tells me, and I select. And now it tells me that in this area for distressed properties, let's wait and see, there are 24 properties. So if you're looking to work foreclosures or pre-foreclosures, this is a way that you could do mailing labels. You could also look here for properties that are not for sale, that are non-distressed, and create mailing labels. So if you're trying to do your marketing and you're trying to do your prospecting, you could use RPR. I have 24 here, right? And I can click mailing labels. RPR allows you to print 2,000, right, a month. So I've exported 0 this month and I have potentially 2,000 that I could export. I have 2,000 remaining, but this one would take 23. I can actually choose here the layout of the mailing label. I can customize to property or tax billing and eliminate duplicates, owner name, owner and or current resident, etc. Filters, right? Owner occupied, absentee owner, and then go ahead and click print. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to use from my 2000, but I did want to show you the process. I'm going to repeat this. I actually came here to home, okay, under all properties, and I could put a zip code, a city, whichever I'm looking for. Let me put 3.3. I select it. I came to advanced and I chose here distressed. You can do and have everything selected if you like and have information on the area. But I wanted you to see that you could come in and search for property. So there's 14,000 properties in this area. Now that I've seen all of them, I can actually choose non-distressed and remove the for sale or pending, meaning that they're working with a realtor, and click apply. And now I'm left with less, and that would be how many mailing labels I would create. I can only create 2,000, so I might have to add additional items, right? And start filtering by beds, baths, living area, etc., type of home. But RPR does allow you to create mailing labels, and I wanted you to see that. Now the CMA. I'm going to come here to home, okay, and I'm going to look for a particular property. Notice how it starts to tell you, right? And it suggests a property address. Once you find your property address on the suggestion, you go ahead and click on it, and you can do your search. It will then take you to the property, and it has a summary, history, charts, refined values, comp analysis, and neighborhood information. It will tell you if it was recently sold, if it's currently for sale, or anything that's happened, along with a sale date, the sold price, the RVM. There's also here an ability to create evaluate property analysis for investor. If you're interested in this, join us for a working with investor class. We offer explanation on this and more, how you can find properties of value, right? And see if they're worth investing in. Notice that you have an RVM here. If I click here on RVM, it explains to you what RVMs means, and it's Realtor Valuation Model, and it's an estimate gathering information. Instead of AVM, an automatic valuation model, RVMs are similar, but they factor in MLS listings and sales. So it gathers information, including what realtors have done. If you see AVM here, it means there have been no realtor sales. If you see RVM, there have been realtor sales. Now, we only encourage the use when it has 5 stars or more, and it explains to you here a bit. So if you have those info areas, go ahead and click through. It will tell you information on the beds and bath, square footage, price per square footage, who the owner is, and since this was in the MLS, we have pictures available. If you're preparing a presentation using RPR and all you have is the Google Maps, you can come in and click on upload photos and upload your own photo, okay? You can click upload and upload your own. You have homeowner facts, home facts. If you have anything to change, you can add notes. So let's say that they've upgraded their driveway, upgraded the kitchen, you can add information like that. Interior details, legal description, and more. I see that chat flying away. And you have here 4 courses. Don't forget that you need to go ahead and look into the calendar. What I'm suggesting to you is the different courses that we offer so that you can see everything that you could potentially do with RPR. Continuing, we have tax info, deed records, and more. I'm going to click show more so you can see. I'm going to come over to history. If you're working with a homeowner, they might know the history of the property. You have prior sales that have occurred, right? Tax assessment value dating back, what they've paid for taxes, mortgage data, if any, and distressed info, if any. For charts, here's charts on information regarding 33326, including median estimated home value, median sale price, median listing price, listing inventory, what's for sale in the area. And you can see about this data, it's a for sale listings in the zip code. Inventory of distressed properties, inventory of distressed listings, median sale price, and more. Thank you, Maggie, for being on that chat. I see it's quite alive. Refined value. The refined value here, this is something exceptional offered by RPR. Something exceptional offered by RPR. Here in the refined value, let's say that your property owner added a full bath and you click apply changes. This is something that tells you how much a bath in this zip code could possibly change the price of the property. I'm going to restore original and show you again. Adding a bath, a full bath, let's say removing the other, let's say 3, how much it would add in this area. If I wanted to do a home improvement, so let's say they have new roof, new garage, notice that it allows you to see backup power generator, deck addition, entry door replacement, major kitchen replacement, siding replacement, which we don't normally do here, roofing. So let's say that it's roofing. It was just completed. And the total cost was $30K. In this area, this would add $22,000. Now, roofing, okay? Roofing is a big deal because in our area that's affected by hurricanes, a good roof adds a new lifetime to a home. A new roof can add 20 to 30 years to a house, depending on the type of roof. So a $30,000 roof on a home maybe from 16 to 2,000 square foot. All right. I'm really glad that some of you are enjoying this. I opened the chat because it was so lively and I can see. I always recommend once a year coming back and taking the classes because everything changes just minutely. This has been around for a long time. So if you're working with an investor, right, or you're looking to repair your home, this will allow you to see what really gives value. Even if you're working with someone who is a homeowner and they say, should I change the roof? Well, in South Florida, roof change is always a good idea. Updating it, maintaining it, always a good idea. But this allows you to calculate. Now notice that it costs $30,000 and you only get $22,000, $23,000 of value. Why? Because there's handiwork there that you don't get payment for. But that's a lot more, right, value to your home. Let's remove and restore the original. And let's select something like a major kitchen repair mid-range. Upscale would be expensive, you know. Mid-range is what most of us do. We go to Home Depot, we go to Lowe's, you know, I was going to say Sears, and get your appliances. And let's say that you did this February this year, right? And you spent, you know, $20,000. It would give you an additional $12,000. So it allows you to estimate what value. And this is something that is unique to RPR. Please note that this takes into consideration the zip code and location. So if you are talking downtown Coral Gables or Las Osas oceanfront or whatever, it will take into consideration that area and the value of property and space in that area. Okay, I'm going to restore. Now, this portion here, refine the value based on improvements need, I don't think that spot is for us. Okay, that's for property appraisers that can also use RPR. Now, and under here, the value based on market condition, the truth is that if you have not walked inside to all of the other homes, you could not evaluate the interior of others. But if the property you're working on has the best curbside appeal, you could come into here, and let's say I put it 2 bumps up. This will add a value of $9,000. So for those of you that think that curbside appeal is not important, only 1 bump up, $5,000. What this means is it doesn't have to have the most integrated, you know, or incredible garden. It could have everything clean and nice and a walkway, everything maintained, right? Freshly painted driveway, you know, just a couple of bushes. Everything looks like in its place. It's pristine. Have you noticed that some homes have that? And then there's a trickle effect that something seems to happen in a neighborhood. When someone paints and fixes their curbside appeal, all the other homes on the block tend to do what? Do the same. But if yours has, or the one you're working on has the best, it can add, look here, up to $4,600 worth of value. I wanted you to see that, especially if you work with investors or if you're thinking of buying a home and improving it, or you're working someone that's doing that. This is a wonderful tool. Comp analysis. Normally, right, when you come back, you're not going to go through history charts, refine value. Most of you are going to come find the property, and unless you have to make any changes, you would click refine, and then you'll come to comp analysis. And here, you're going to confirm the facts, the property facts. Now, I'm going to close this out a minute and note that this living area is 2425. Okay. For those of you that still work with pen and paper, I do, right? 2425. So about 240 more, let's see. 280 plus or minus would be 20%, plus or minus that. This has 4 beds and 3 baths. 4 bed, 3 bath, and it was built in 93. All things to note. Why, you say? When I compare, I want to make sure I have that clear, right? So I'm going to confirm the facts. Nothing has changed. It's exactly as it is, right? Confirm it. And that will allow me now to come and find comps. This is probably what we want to do. Find comparative market analysis property so that I can compare it to this one. I can find it. So maybe you might want to use active and pending to see what's going on in the area, right? You may want to look at the last 6 months. That may be difficult now. So maybe I want to look at the last year. Your choice. You can choose it here. First, let's do 6 months so I can show you to come back. Now, mine was 4 beds, 3 baths. So maybe I want to compare it to others, 4, 3. Ideally, you'd get 2 to 3 properties to compare to. Notice here that it's already sort of done the 20% for us, right? Maybe went a little high, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to put 2,800, and I'm going to put a low of 2,000, making it more and more similar, correct? I can choose lot size, year built, etc. But first, let's look to see, right? And I search. This brings me to 21 homes sold, and I get from proximity, right, first. Now I have a 4-3, and this one is very similar. So is this one, so is this one, and this is exact. Notice that the ones with a star were the ones used for the RVM. I can come to the map. I can come to the map. Give me 1 second. I can come to the map and use a custom area. I can come and use within this zip a macro neighborhood, an intermediate, a minor neighborhood. I can also come and draw. I want to show you here that the subject property is right here. So if interested, I could come and draw an area. Okay? I can draw a shape, and I can actually do a polygon. So I can actually come and click through and sort of just choose the one area here. Because will these homes be the same as this? Maybe not. So I want to search in this area. Now that drops down my number of homes a bit, but I still have those approximate ones. And note that I have the ones for RVM. And let's analyze a bit. I really only need 3. And once I did this map area, I stayed with 10. But look at this one. The one that's exactly like it sold for $219. This is $222. This may be a totally different home. A lot more square footage, right? Etc. And I need to look at the model, right? But this is something to consider. I am going to take this one that's exactly the same and of course use it in my evaluation. Okay? I can look through and see this is another one that may be similar and was used in the RVM. All right? And I can use this one. If you ever want to see the property to see that it's distinctly different, you can actually come and click in it. And you would then see the property here. Okay? Coming back over, right? I may want to use this one as well. Okay. And scroll down and review. Maybe I don't want to close. This is incredibly close. All right. Incredibly close. Good square footage. All right. So now that I've chosen the properties that I think are most similar, now please note, I know that this is a 2-story home. Do I want to compare it to a 1-story home? Probably not. So now that I have the properties that I've selected, I click to update valuation. Okay. Notice that it gives me a huge range. I can actually come and edit that. And I can enter a complete value if I like. They're asking for rent comps. For rentals, it's very difficult because not all rentals are done by realtors, correct? So for rent comps, I don't know that I would do it here. We're creating a new course that's going to start in October. Maggie can correct me on the name because I cannot remember. Where we're going to teach you how to do distinct reports and statistics in the MLS. And you can actually, right? Information here I think would be limited. I would probably go into the MLS and gather an area, put square footage, beds and baths, and see what rentals have occurred. And I'd probably do it in the MLS, isolating it. But that's right, it's called market stats. It was very original. Thank you, Maggie. Here I can adjust price. So if I'm trying to say, I think that this one should be valued at $525,000. Okay, even though it was giving me here, I know that one of the properties sold very well, and maybe I reviewed it, right? And I know that it had a lot of upgrades, and maybe it had more square footage. I included it to let them know, listen, this is the higher end one, we're more here. The choice is yours. Remember that you can come and click and review the different properties that you're using. If I'd like, I can enter a range. That's your choice, right? So I can put here from 515 to 540. Always be clear on the properties that you've chosen so you can explain that range. Yes, RPR does automatically do it, but you do have the ability to adjust, and you may want to adjust according to what you see. Okay, and now I'm going to click save, and now the magic happens, right? We came in, I showed you guys history charts, refined value, which some of you were wowed about, which would help you indicate to see what pricing and what would help if you changed your roof, if you changed the bathroom, if you added a feature, if you did an upgrade to the kitchen, correct? By the way, CMAs are an art form, and Maggie can tell you herself, both her and I have earned the pricing strategy advisor. They tend to give that towards the end of the year. It's a course offered a Florida realtor, I forget her name, I think it's Cynthia, comes down and gives it, but now she could probably do it virtually. It's Pricing Strategy Advisor, which teaches you to add some active, some pending, so you have an idea of what's happening. Because when you create this CMA, it's good for today. If a month passes by or 2 weeks, you should create another one. And it is an art form. How many of you think a pool has great value? Well, a pool could be considered a liability. It could be considered an additional expense. It's pretty to look at, but it's rough to maintain. So different things, right? Alex, Cynthia DeLuca, thank you. I knew it was Cynthia. I wasn't sure if it was with a Y. Maggie's wonderful at that. We've earned it. We also offer a CMA workshop course. So we have RPR classes to teach you to do CMA, IMAP classes, right? Realist. And then we have Matrix 301. It's a 301 course for either MLS to show you how to do one in the MLS. But that only has sales done by realtors. And then we have a CMA workshop to teach you to do quick ones. So the CMA workshop class, to me, is vital. Take this one, take an IMAP class, because IMAP gives you a quick turnaround report, especially if you're working with an investor where you want to see what the range is and the value in an area. But this one is to do a presentation. This one is to work with that buyer or seller and give them statistics and information on an area. Now, if you send someone a 90-page report, are they going to look at it, or are you going to overwhelm them? And that's what this next portion is. I'm going to click here on Create Report. I've tried to keep this on the screen so you guys could take a picture if you wanted to or look at it. I'm going to come to Create Report. And this time I'm working with a seller because this was for a listing presentation. I'm going to leave on screen the ones I've selected. I've deselected a bunch. If they're owners of the property, they don't need extended homeowner facts and the refined value issues or anything, or historical photos or property history. They're there. Do they need market activity much? No, they need your comps, what you've prepared for them. So I have selected these here. And I'm going to leave them on screen a couple of seconds if you'd like to take a picture, and then I'll scroll and show you the rest. Okay, I'm going to scroll. All right. You can choose to suppress estimated value for property, estimated value for comps, and refined value. I have not. Some of you are asking which is the best one. It depends on your customer and what they like. If the person just likes numbers, IMAP would be great. It's a one-pager with just numbers. If they want to see pictures, if they want to evaluate the property, if they want to have little indicators on what's going on, this may be better. If they like charts, they may like Realist. And they might want a full-fledged presentation. We also offer you the opportunity, if you're a Miami Platinum Plus subscriber, to have Cloud CMA. For videos on these so that you can get a feel for it, or if you're interested or looking into becoming a Platinum Plus member, please visit Miami Realtors Live or the youtube.com/miamitrainers, right, to get a feel for what that could be. The Cloud CMA also prepares a dynamic report that you can use and does have a valuation tool so you can share it on the internet or via your email signature for people that may be interested in wondering what their property actually may value at. So again, this is an art, and every day there's something new to learn, okay, including your instructors that continue to learn as well. Once you've done this, you come to the very bottom and you can actually include recipient information. So I'm going to go in here and put, John Smith, Smith family report just for you. Okay, you can have a delivery method. You can actually choose to open it or email. I'm the type of person that thinks that this is something you should present, but I'm not you. I'm not telling you how to run your business. So if you wanted to, you could actually email it. But for purposes of the class, I'm going to run the report and give it a second. Okay. While it's doing that, while it's choosing to run the report, I'm going to let it notify us. I do want to come back to home and take a minute. Vital to your success in any business is always making sure that you have branding and information. So come sign in, click on the gear, and make sure your photo, your logo, your contact details, all of your websites, including social media sites, are added in. Take a minute and fill the settings out. Fill the settings out. Okay? Under the home, remember that you had a market activity and that you could run a market activity report. That we had a school and a beautiful school report. Neighborhoods, right? So you could give statistics, information, quality of life, housing, economy, and more. What's for sale, what's for lease? You could search in RPR. One of the things that we never got around to, and I wish we had more time, and maybe we'll start including, is that you can search for other areas here. So if you have someone selling here that's going to relocate, right, or they want to see, you can look for info. And then all properties. I showed you a couple of things here. First thing I showed you is that you can come in and actually click advanced and choose to run labels here or get information on your key area. So if you wanted distressed that are not for sale, you could search it here. Okay, distressed not for sale, you could search it here. And don't forget that you have access to print out 2,000 labels. And there it goes, my notification. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and download. And here's my report. It's 14 pages. It has that first image, all of my branding information. Please note that it has the personalization of the person's name here up top. Information is Smith family report just for you, so you can write a message to them, all of your contact details, the date that you created the report, address on every page, information and the pricing that we came to, home facts, property photos, because I chose to include them, comps and where they were located. So notice that it wasn't super far away. Everything was very close in proximity. And then a page to compare side by side, property, right? Notice then that you have comparison pages for each of the properties that you chose to compare it with. and then your sales comparison. Though this has a signature field, please remember that this is not a listing agreement. So if you're going to do a presentation like this, even if it's virtual, go ahead and have your listing agreement ready so that they can sign. Signing here means nothing. All right. So you have a wonderful presentation that you can review with them, highest price, comp analysis, properties that have sold in the area that are similar, okay, location, estimated value, everything that you can look. Now notice that this one sold very high, but look, it's been upgraded. You've done a round of the home, you notice that it's not upgrade. This is your talking point here. Currently this one sold, right? But it sold higher because of the upgrades. Okay, so all this information available to you, easy to do. Now, you create this. Hi, Connie, I lost it. I can't find it. Where is it? Here you have recent reports, recent searches, recent properties. All right here for 30 days. Those settings that I had in the report, 30 days as well. And with that, we conclude our RPR class. We mentioned a couple of things. Mobile Realtor with Miami to get the mobile version, right, of RPR, some sneak peeks onto working that, one of our favorites. We mentioned working with investors. I think Maggie gave you information, right? It's been an hour. Can you believe it? We've been together. If you want to reach out to us, remember Maggie gave you information. Trainers at Miami RE. I'm Connie Nieto. Maggie was wonderful via chat. And this has been a great class. I'm so happy to have been with all of you today. It's been amazing. Thank you for being Miami members. And remember, always more with Miami. When it comes to training, always offering you more. If you're up for it and you speak Spanish, we'll be back in about 30 minutes to do it again. Again, thank you. Take care.